Welcome students. Welcome to the next lecture of English Language and Literature Code 184 CBSE Class 10 First Term Syllabus. Your date sheet has been released by CBSE. All the best for your examination. Now devote more and more time to your studies. Today we are going to start the second chapter of your book First Flight, that is Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. But I would be explaining this chapter in three parts. So follow the videos and gradually you would go into the detail of the chapter and everything would be clear. So first of all, I would like to tell you that this chapter has been written by, this story has been written by Nelson Mandela himself. What does it mean? This chapter is an extract from his autobiography. The title of the autobiography of Nelson Mandela is Long Walk to Freedom. And this chapter, which is there in your book, is the part of that autobiography where he is discussing about the inauguration. What is the inauguration? Inauguration was that ceremony when he was elected as the first black president of South Africa. He had come there to take oath in front of everybody. So that day was called Inauguration Day. Fine. So let's start with the chapter. Before starting the chapter, you should know what is apartheid. Nelson Mandela went for anti-apartheid movement. But unless you know what is apartheid, you won't be able to understand that what is anti-apartheid. So let's go with the definition of apartheid. Apartheid is a system of legal racial segregation. Segregation means separation. Racial means on the basis of caste, creed, color. So it was a system in which the people were separated on the basis of some race. And who had created this system? It was enforced by National Party government in South Africa. The government of South Africa was itself responsible to create this system. It was most prevalent between 1948 to 1994, under which what was there under apartheid? We have come to know that it was discrimination on the basis of race or something. So what was there? The majority people living in South Africa were black and the minority were white people. Majority black, minority white. But still, the rights of the black people were curtailed by white people. Curtailed means reduced or taken away. So that means, in simple terms, we can say that white people were enjoying the rights in South Africa. On the other hand, on the contrary, blacks were not given such rights. Fine. So this was the system of apartheid. This is the most important thing, under which the rights of the majority people, who were the inhabitants, means the people living in a particular place, they were the inhabitants of South Africa, but their rights were curtailed, their rights were reduced, and the minority people, who were the minority, the white peoples were minority, they were responsible for this. So this was the system. And now you can understand that why Mandela, I'm sorry, was an anti-apartheid person. That means he wanted that this apartheid should be abolished and there should not be any discrimination on any basis. And he was the first black president of South Africa. Fine. So let's see. You can understand that if he has done this, he might have sacrificed much in his life to reach to this position. So let us learn about the day inauguration. Okay. So the next question is that where did inauguration take place and how this day came possible? How this day become possible? Wait a minute, let me zoom it. Okay, let's move on. So the headline says Mandela becomes South Africa's first black president. As I have already told you. So what was it about? Nelson Mandela has become South Africa's first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. That means white people were ruling South Africa for 3 centuries, means for 300 years. And Mr. Mandela, he had African National Congress. He was a member of ANC, African National Congress. And because after many fights, many protests, there were the democratic elections where African National Congress had won with 250 votes out of 400. Fine. So finally they had won. And now it was decided that Nelson Mandela would be given the post of that he would be designated as the president of South Africa. So the inauguration ceremony, I have already told you that what is inauguration ceremony is that ceremony where he took the oath as the president. Okay. The inauguration ceremony took place in Union Buildings Amphitheatre in Pretoria today attended by politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries around the world. Now, where did the ceremony take place? The ceremony took place in Union Building. As we have Parliament House, they have Union Buildings. Fine. And what is amphitheater? This is the picture of amphitheater. Amphitheater is, it is structured like this. There are the stairs and there would be seats on them. Fine. And this is the stage where the person can stand and address to the people all around, sitting around him. This is an amphitheater. And they had an amphitheater in Union Buildings, and where it is in Pretoria. Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. And this inauguration ceremony was attended by many politicians and many great people from all over the world, from 140 countries around. And what was the main thing that he spoke about? He said that never again will this beautiful land experience the oppression of one by another. He was saying that this country, South Africa, was facing the oppression. Oppression means just a cruel, excessive power of somebody. That means one team is suppressing others. One team is considering oneself superior and others inferior. So he was saying that never on this land, never on this beautiful land of South Africa, nobody is going to experience any kind of oppression by any other race. That does not mean that if he is becoming the president, then he had got the liberty to suppress white people. No, he was against any kind of oppression of anybody. I hope this is clear. This is the background which is very important to be understood before going into the detail with the chapter. As I have already told you that we would be doing this chapter in parts, because this chapter has many important things from where the questions are generally raised or generally asked in the examination. Let's go in detail with the chapter. Here the thing starts with the date 10th May. Okay, let's go with it. 10th May dawned bright and clear. This was the day when the inauguration took place. So 10th May. This is again an important date. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and the world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. What is he saying? That 10th May was a bright and a clear day for me. And for last many days, I was getting the congratulations. The great leaders were coming to meet me. They were paying respect to me because because black people had won the elections there. So I was besieged by. Besieged means surrounded by. Meaning is given there, closely surrounded. So I was surrounded by the great people who were coming to meet me for giving to pay respect to me for my victory against apartheid. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. What does it mean? In South Africa, many of the countries had broken up their relations with it because of the harshest apartheid system prevalent there. So it was very, for the very first time, that so many leaders, so many international leaders were coming to South Africa. Fine. Okay. I have already told you the ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. For decades, it had been the seat of white supremacy. Again, this is important that for decades means a period of 10 years. So for decades means for many 10 years, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, many 10 years, this place, this Union Building was only the place meant for white people. The black people were not allowed to enter there. But today, he is happy to announce that today it is the site of rainbow gathering of different colors. He's saying that, Nelson Mandela is saying that this place was covered with every person of every caste, every religion, every creed. So therefore, he is calling it a rainbow gathering. This question is also many times raised in the examination, that why is he referring to it as rainbow gathering, which is very important. Fine. So please make a point. Why was he saying it? Because the people, the international leaders, there was no discrimination like blacks or whites. Everybody were there. The people of every caste, creed, or color was allowed to come there. Therefore, it has been called a rainbow gathering. And why did they come? For the installation of South African first democratic and non-racial government. They had come to see that how South Africa is going to install the first non-racial, without discrimination, without any discrimination on the basis of race, or it was a democratic country. Next line, he says, go with it. Next line, he says that on this autumn day, and now sometimes it is asked that why was he calling it an autumn day? First of all, I would make it clear to you that in the month of May in South Africa, it would be an autumn day only. Secondly, we can say that autumn refers to the preservation of life and basic necessities. What happens that the life is gathering the thing, is preserving those things that he would be needing. Fine. So therefore, this day is called autumn day because it is also referring to the preservation of life. That new thing has to be started today. Okay, so this was the autumn day. After this autumn day is laying the stone for the democracy of South Africa. And on that day, he was accompanied by his daughter, whose name is Zenani, again an important name. On the podium, Mr. De Klerk was first sworn in, the second deputy president. Now you have to learn these names. The first name has been given to us is Mr. De Klerk. He took the oath because he was a second deputy president. Okay, so be careful. There were two deputy president. First is this Mr. De Klerk, who was second deputy president. Let us see who was the first deputy president. Moving to the next slide. Okay. Thabo Mbeki, this is the next name. He sworn in the first deputy president. He was the first one, and De Klerk was the second one. When it was my turn, now it was the turn of Nelson Mandela, and he had to take oath. He pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people. He was saying that, what did he say in his oath? He said that I pledge that I'm going to obey, I'm going to uphold, I want to give respect to my constitution, and I'm going to devote my life for the well-being of the people, for the well-being of the people of South Africa. And he said something else also. Let us see what did he say on the next page. Okay. Okay. What was he saying? Today, all of us do, by our own presence here, confer glory and hope to the newborn liberty out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long. Must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. What is he saying? He's saying today, that day, in the presence of everybody, I want to say that a newborn liberty has taken birth over here. That is the day when newborn liberty, means newborn freedom, is taking birth, and it is the end of extraordinary human disaster. What was the extraordinary human disaster? This is also asked in the examination. What was the human disaster extraordinary? He is talking about apartheid here, that lasted for too long. The apartheid system was prevalent there for so long, but now there was a birth of a new society which every human will be proud of, and he is talking about democracy. Fine. We all, next line says, we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to host to the nations of the world on our own soil. We thank all our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country and of people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. He's saying that they were the black people who were outlawed. That means who were not given the privileges in their own country. But now this is a proud day for every black people who has been there, because they are hosting the function. They are the host of the function, and he wants to thank all the international leaders, international guests, that they have come and joined this inauguration, because this is the victory. This is not the victory of only black people. This is the victory of justice, peace, and human dignity, human respect, that every human should be respected. Other than these points should not be taken into consideration, that which caste, which creed, which color does he belong to. So this is the victory of justice, peace, and human dignity. After this, he says, we have at last achieved our political emancipation. What is the meaning of emancipation? Emancipation means to free from somebody's control. That finally the black people have got the freedom from the control of white people. And we pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. He also pointed out that we pledge this thing, that we are going to bring liberation. That means freedom. He's talking about freedom. He's going to bring freedom to all our people from the bondage of poverty. Nobody would be poor. Nobody would be deprived of one or the other thing. No would be suffering on the basis of gender, and nobody would face any kind of discrimination in South Africa. And this is again very important line you need to learn. Never, never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression by one another. He's saying there will not be any kind of oppression, not even of white, not even of black. The sun shall never set on this glorious a human achievement. This is the day when every human has achieved something, every human would be dignified, every human would be respected. And at last he said, let freedom reign, God bless Africa. Reign means rule. Let freedom rule. And he's saying, may God bless Africa. I think this is enough for this video. I would make the next video to continue with the same text. Please look for the next videos also to get the complete understanding of this chapter. Thank you.